Hello everyone, Tina here. I'm back again to share some more little note card projects with you using the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar for 2025. We're going to make 5 note cards today. We're going to take a look at Windows 16 through 20. Okay, I already put them on a magnet here, but Windows 16 is this cute little banner. You have the die for the banner, and then you have some sentiment inserts. Congrats, happy day, and good vibes. That's window 16. Up here at the top is window 17, and we get a package of some sequins. These are no-hole sequins, so you can call them confetti or discs, and they are an ivory color, and they're beautiful. So you get a package of those. Behind window number 18 is this die here. It's just one die, but it cuts out 5 swirly layers. If you were to put all the corners together, it would create a circular pattern. Really pretty. I'm calling it a corner wave. So that is in number 18. Window 19 is up here on the top, and it is a... In case you're wondering what the sticker is behind here, I just put some post-it note tape so I wouldn't lose track of what went where. This is window number 19, and you get 4 greetings. You make me smile, rolling by to say hi. You are out of this world, and thanks. And we'll be using all 4 greetings on our card projects today. Window number 20 is our last window for this video, and it is this cute little spaceship. 4-piece set that creates an alien spaceship. So how cute is that? So we'll be using these on our note cards today. I also want to mention that window number 20, this little flower, I'm going to take out. I'm just going to tear window. I'll fussy cut this out, and we're going to use this on one of our cards today. It's a pretty floral. Just a single flower with a leaf is nice. So those are windows 16 through 20. We are going to go ahead and jump in and get started. I'm making note cards today. My note card sizes, this is 3 3/4 inches tall by 5 1/4 inches wide. And then I just took the panel and I folded it in half. Okay, so that will be my note card size. I chose this size because this way it will fit in my little note card envelopes. And these are linked below in the description area too if you guys are interested. I picked up a large pack over on Amazon of little note cards, and they're pretty inexpensive, but the colors kind of match the colors of our advent calendar beautifully. Also, I said we're going to jump in, but I wanted to also share the color palette that we're using today. I picked out some colors. Now my colors, I kind of went with the colors that were on the box once more. Okay, so I chose these. So we have a light green, a pink, a purple. We have 2 different shades of orange. And then I have, looks like white, but it's actually a gray. There's no gray in here, but I did want to pull some. Actually, there is some darker gray, but I wanted a lighter gray for my cards today. So these are the colors that we're going to be using. Now we can jump in. I'm going to put this to the side, and we are going to work on our window number 16. Okay, for my note card number 16, we're going to be using the banners. Okay, there's 3 greetings: congrats, happy day, and good vibes. I die cut out the good vibes with the banner with my purple cardstock. This says, again, good vibes. And then what we're going to do is mat this on another banner. This is with the gray cardstock. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. We'll put some foam squares behind here. And you'll notice that I created some fish. I went back to day 15, which is the fish bowl, and I created 4 fish. I have a pink one, a purple, I have an orange one, and I have a green one. Rather than die cut out with 2 different colors of pink cardstock, what I had did was just use a different color Copic marker, and I colored in this piece here. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. I have a panel that is slightly smaller than my note card. Okay, we're going to first add our greeting right in the middle. We'll layer this, and then we're going to layer a couple fish on top. And we'll layer a couple fish on the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to add some glue behind here, and we're going to tack this down on the front of our note card here. We're going to use window number 17's sequins, and to me these make the perfect little fish bubbles. So we're going to add lots of little fish bubbles in our background. We are going to load up our background. And that is window number 16, our Good Vibes banner with little fishies from window 15. We're going to move along to our next card, which is window number 17, which is actually our sequins. And I thought these were so pretty. And these were the perfect color to create a edge-to-edge shaker card. So I just took some packaging, leftover packaging, and I trimmed down some that will fit behind a panel. Now this panel is slightly smaller than my note card. Okay, what we're going to do is bring in some double-sided adhesive. I'm using my score tape here. You can use glue if you wanted to, but glue just seems to take a little bit longer to dry. I'm going to remove the release paper off of 3 sides. Okay, and then we will, I'm actually going to, I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. This is kind of big. Okay, and then we're going to flip up the bottom. That wasn't a very good flip up. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to miter the sides, and then I'm going to flip over the left side, and then I will flip over the right side. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my scissors, and if there's excess plastic, I'm just going to trim that away. You can miter the corners if you want, but it's really not necessary. You see how the corners fold over? That's okay. Okay, I'm going to open it up, and you know, we're going to pour, I'm going to pour some of my sequins in my little triangle. It's easier to control that way. Okay, and then we are going to open this up, and we're going to add some sequins on the inside here. Now all we have to do is close it up. We'll just remove that release paper there, flip this over, and then we have a flat edge-to-edge shaker. Not very thick at all. Since we have our score tape out, what I like to do is add some more tape here. And we'll just attach this with tape to the front of our note card. Doesn't that look so pretty? Wonderful. Okay, now I created 2 banners with purple cardstock using window number 16. Okay, there's no greeting in here. What I'm going to do is take my glue. I'm going to add a little dot in the middle. I'm going to take one of the banners, I'm going to flip it over, and we are going to attach 2 together. Just like so. And then I have a 1-inch circle. I just used my 1-inch circle punch and punched out a circle. Now in our stamp set from window number 19, there's a greeting that says thanks. I'm going to take this, and we're going to stamp thanks in that 1-inch circle. I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire. We're going to stamp thanks right here in the middle. I'm going to place the foam square right in the middle of our banners. And I'm going to take our thanks, and I'm just going to layer this right in the middle. I think that looks cute. Kind of looks like candy. I'm going to use a little bit of glue here. And I'm just going to layer this right on top. And that's all I'm doing to this little note card using window number 17, which is the sequin mix. They do move around a little bit too, which makes it fun. Okay, let's move along to window number 18. Window 18 is the corner wave. I did a little bit of die cutting with this one. I'm using the same colors of cardstock that we were using. So I have 5 colors. I have gray, orange, pink, purple, and green. And then 2 sets of white. Okay? The white I'm going to adhere to a front panel that's slightly smaller than my note card. Let's add some glue. It's nice if they stick together. Okay, so we have a gap in here. Okay, and we have a little overhanging on top. We're going to eventually trim that off, but I wanted to share with you what it looked like. So the triangle portion is on this side, the triangle portion is facing this side, and then we have about maybe a little less than ½ of an inch gap. That's where we're going to stamp our greeting from our stamp set that says rolling by to say hi. That was from stamp set number 19. I'm going to ink that up with my VersaFine Clair. That will fit right there. Lovely. Now we're going to take our colored pieces, and since there's 5 rows, we're going to use 5 different colors. I just got to figure out what colors I want. So let's add some glue here. And then let's start off with the purple. We'll just layer this here. Next layer up will be orange, so we'll add this. What's nice is the white is like a template for us. And then we will add, how about a gray? And we have leftovers if we want to make another card or another few cards. So that's the nice thing. You can make multiples of these. And then what we're going to do is bring in our sequins, and that will finish off that card using the wave, the corner wave from window number 18, but we also used the stamp set from window 19 and the sequins, of course, from window 17. But I think that makes a fun little card. We do have a little dimension because there's 2 layers on there. But let's move along to window number 19, which is our stamp set. This is where our flower will come in, and I'm going to fussy cut our flower out. Okay. I'm going to fussy cut my flower so none of the blue will show. Here is my fussy cut flower. I did put foam tape behind it. That's going to be our little focal image for this card since our window number 19 was our greeting, which we're going to be using You Make Me Smile for this card. Okay, I am going to bring in window 13's embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss the top portion of a panel that I created with gray cardstock. I'm going to line it up edge to edge on the top here, and I will run this through my die cut machine. I'll be right back. I also want to mention that you could actually use the embossing folder from window number 6 to do this also. Okay, so we have a little pretty pattern at the very top. Now at the very bottom, we're going to stamp our greeting. We're using the You Make Me Smile. We'll just put this on an acrylic block, and then let's ink this up with our black ink. I'm going to stamp this right at the bottom here, centering it. Now I have some strips of the same colors of pattern papers that we've been using. They're just random strips. There's no measurements to them, but I'm going to add some stripes to our background here. Now I'm going to trim away anything that's overhanging, and then I'm also going to round the corners here on the bottom. Just like this. I'm going to take this panel and we'll attach it to the front of our card base. And then I'm going to round the corners of the bottom of my note card. And then we're going to take our flower here. And I'm just going to add it here. Now all we have left to do is add a little bit of shine, and I'm going to add a few little sequins. And then lastly, I'm bringing in my glazing glue. I'm just going to add a little bit to the flower center. And that is my little note card, just the everyday note card, using our stamp set that says "You Make Me Smile." Okay, we're going to move along to our next card. Our next card is featuring window number 20. For this card, we're going to make the cute little alien spaceship. And again, we're going to use the same colors that we've been using. But you're probably going to think I'm just the craziest. But in our die set up from window 15, we have the waves that goes into our fish tank. Okay, but I die cut out 2 of these with gray cardstock. What we're going to do is layer them together to create a planet. This is why we're not bringing in any extras. We're just using what's in our kit. If you layer them together like this, I'm going to scoot it over a little bit here. Okay, we have a planet. With the little circles, it kind of does look like a planet. I just think that it worked out perfectly. Okay, I'm not worried about this circle because our alien ship is going to cover it. But we could just created a planet. Okay, with this die here. So no extra dies needed. And then of course we have our spaceship. Let's build our spaceship. We have this piece here that we're going to flip over. We're going to add a little glue behind here, and then we're going to tack down the antenna of our ship. We just layer them together like that. Okay, and then the top part of our ship here is where we're going to add the pink layer. Now we're going to add some Beam Me Up rays. We're going to go ahead and add glue to the very top. And I want them to be kind of spread out like this. This one actually goes in the middle, like so. Kind of just spread them out. And then I'm going to layer my spaceship right over the top of them. And then we have a fun spaceship that's going to town, beaming up. So cute. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to put some small foam squares behind here. Now I have a panel. I just put glue behind there. We're going to add this to the front of our card base. We just added that panel to the front of our card base, just using some glue. And then we're going to add our planet here. I'm going to put the planet more towards the top because we're going to stamp our greeting down here on the bottom. Actually, okay, let's go ahead and do that. So let's stamp our greeting. We'll take our stamp set from window 19, and it has a perfect greeting that says "You are out of this world." Let's stamp this down at I'm going to put it as low as I can on that purple cardstock because we have those beams. Okay. Lovely. Now we're going to add our little spaceship. And I think I'm going to tilt it a little bit because I do want to see those little moon pieces. We're going to tilt it just a little bit here. That worked out really nicely. Okay, and then we're going to, of course, got to bring in our sequins. We're going to add a few little extras here. And then I'm also bringing in my diamond stickles. I'm going to go over the inside of my spaceship and also the antenna. And I'm going to add some lines to those beams. And that will finish off that card. So let's take a look at all 5 cards that we made today. So here we go, 5 fun cards using the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar, window 16 through window 20. And I will be back on Christmas Eve. Okay, that's our final day, our final window. We're going to create 4 more note cards with window 21 through 24. So keep a lookout for that video or save it when you guys have time. I know some people or some families are busy Christmas Eves, but I will be finishing off the Advent calendar then, so keep a lookout for that video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.